guys, my name's Sam. This is the Potager Knits podcast, and I'm coming to you from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, where I live. It's actually a pretty lovely day outside, but I am kind of excited that we're almost at September, which means it'll hopefully start cooling off pretty soon. I love the autumn. Anyway, if you want to find me on the internet, you can find me on Instagram at Potager Knits. I'm going to have that down in the description as well as anything else that I talk about today. The only announcement that I have is I am going to be doing a D-stash. I don't know why I did it that way. I'm just kind of having energy and I want to sing everything today. Yeah. So I'm going to be doing a D-stash. I've been doing a lot of cleaning up of my craft area, my stash area, and I've just been finding some stuff that I'm not necessarily going to use. I am definitely kind of like, I wouldn't say hoarder. I think in the past maybe I would have been like a craft hoarder, but I've been trying to do a lot better of like every once in a while doing just kind of like an audit of my craft supplies and really trying to be honest with myself about what I'm going to actually use and what I'm keeping around for like a maybe someday. So instead of just keeping some of this stuff around, I wanted to try to get it to someone who might actually use it, or maybe it'll just become part of your craft stash. No judgment there. Some people work that way. I live in a 1-bedroom apartment. I don't have room for all of this, so I'd rather get it to someone else. Make sense? Hopefully. So I have a lot of different stuff. I have some books, I have yarn, I have project bags, I have various craft supplies. I think I might even have beads. I just haven't found them yet. They're in there somewhere. And I also am going to be doing some mystery grab bags. So I have a decent amount of acrylic yarn that I'm not really using. It's just kind of sitting around, and it has been for a while. So instead of just leaving it there, I thought I would do some mystery grab bags, just pay shipping. I'll fill up a flat rate envelope and it will be full of various things. Like I said, just all you'll have to do is pay the shipping for it. It'll be good. Like, I know a lot of the stuff that I've had saved around, I intended to do like knitting hats for charity and stuff like that. It'll be good for that, or like scrappy blankets maybe, something like that. So yeah, definitely look out for that. It'll be sometime this weekend, and then Monday I will try to ship everything out. I think that will work out the best for me. So yeah, look out for that on my Instagram page. I will have all the information up on there for your perusal and your consideration, I suppose. Okay, so let's talk about some FOs. So just quick before I go into this, I do have a decent amount of FOs, but not a lot of whips, and the reason for that is I have severely overwhelmed myself with works in progress and just like potential projects and stuff. Cleaning out my stash was part of helping with that, and I'm going to talk about that later, but I'm really only focusing on a couple projects at a time because it's just been really, like, I don't know. I've wanted to work on other projects, but I don't really like keeping works in progress around for a long period of time. Like, I get antsy about them, and I don't know. So to clear my mind, I've been working on a couple projects at a time, just finishing things so that I can eventually make way for some more projects. Okay, so let's talk about some FOs, for real now. I'm gonna take a drink, though. I got myself this nice big water bottle. Put this lovely sticker on it because I need to stay more hydrated. All right. So my first FO are these socks. They are knit in Patton's Croy socks in the Sunset Stripes colorway. I just did my little regular vanilla sock formula. So this one I did just a 1x1 rib. I usually do twisted rib, but I did do just a little short 1x1 rib cuff. I did a short row heel and then a rounded toe. I usually do cuff down, just because I like the edge on cuff down rather than toe up, but whatever, I do whatever. Try some different things sometimes. But anyway, these are just my normal vanilla socks that I normally do. I really like Patton's Croy socks. It's pretty inexpensive. They're usually like, I think the regular price is like $5.99 a ball, but I got these on sale and with a coupon, so I spent less than that on these. It's pretty sturdy, durable, toasty warm yarn, so yeah, I like that for an inexpensive self-striping sock yarn. next in self-striping socks that Sam has knit since the last podcast. So I participated in Sock Week, which coincides with Shark Week. It's run by Knitty Natty and a couple other people. I know Malia Mated is involved. So I've never done this before. I've never participated in Sock Week, but I just decided that I was going to go for it this year. So I knit these socks for my wife. They are a self-striping yarn by Timber Yarns. It's called 10. I got it as a gift in a little friend exchange of yarn. So I knit them toe up. I found a pattern for this heel on like a Knit Picks pattern. And I did them 2 at a time too, which was nice because with this Timber Yarns twin sock, it's actually 2 50-gram balls, which is really nice. It's already like it's 2 50-gram skeins. I wound it into 2 50-gram balls, but you know what I mean. It was convenient. I didn't have to split the yarn to do 2 at a time, so yeah, it's nice. Yeah, this went pretty nice. Went pretty nice. This went pretty fast. I knit these in a week and a little bit into the Sunday that week, but technically the next week. A little bit over a week. So I finished them on time, and yeah, I think they turned out pretty good. I really love the colors. They're super vibrant. I know my wife was really excited about them. It was kind of one of those things where I pulled the yarn out and I saw her looking at it and I was like, do you want these socks? And since I've been trying to do some knitting for other people instead of being such a selfish knitter, yeah, I let her have this one. So yeah, next pair of socks are for me though. We're trying to build up our sock drawer because we like hand knit socks a lot. During the summer we don't really wear socks as much because it's usually like flip-flops or sandals, so really like woolen socks are kind of nice for all the other seasons. I am gonna kind of vary it up a little bit and do some more like shorties and, you know, springier socks, springy summerier socks, but I don't know, I think our ultimate goal is to kind of eliminate a lot of our extra other socks, except for maybe gardening socks. I need some tall socks for my garden boots because I don't want to get these dirty, like real dirty. It's okay if they're like used, but like I don't want to have to wash actual dirt, like hand wash actual dirt out of my socks. I want to do a lot more sewing and embroidery, so I've been trying to work on more projects like that. So here I did these 2. These are the drop cloth samplers. They are little pin cushions. So I got these from drop cloth samplers, and I just did embroidery all over it. So it's a pre-printed cotton fabric. These come both on the same thing, and yeah, you just kind of embroider whatever floats your boat on it. They give you a little bit of guidance and you can use their website to see different stitch patterns, but I just kind of looked at the reference pictures and figured out some of it myself. I have another sampler from them called like the Galaxy or like the Milky Way sampler or something like that, so I might look up some more stitch patterns for that, and that'll be like a wall hanging type thing, but I just thought these were cool, so I kind of did a wing it. And then I got from them walnut, like crushed walnut to fill these with, so they're heftier. It's not just squishy like fiber fill. So next, this is a little bit different. So I did another class at the PA Guild of Craftsmen. They do a lot of different types of crafting classes, artisan classes. I know I've seen that they do like they're doing a shoe making class, which I thought was really cool. They do glass pendants and glass swizzle sticks. Those are the ones that I've seen. There's stained glass classes, leather making, like all different kinds of stuff. But the ones that I've specifically been interested in are the ring making classes. So I think I've talked about this before, but if I haven't, when my wife and I got married, I made us both wedding bands. So you can see mine here. It is a pounded, like a hammered metal. So this one's very square and it fits in right with my engagement ring. It actually like even nests in with it. Super cool. I got to make it myself. Unfortunately, due to theater, being theater people, sometimes you lose things. And unfortunately, at a show, my wife did lose her ring. We believe that's where she lost it. Most likely that's where she lost it. Things get shuffled around backstage. It happens. So since then I've been trying to go back and make her rings, and we tried to schedule one in March, and then of course because of COVID it got canceled, and then the July one got canceled as well. So finally I got to go and make her ring. So just reference, this one's a little dirty, but this is the other ring that I made the last class that I went. So I still have that one. Super cool. It's like stamped metal with a little dude there. Okay, there we go. So with this class, I made her own brand new set. So once again, this is like the hammered metals. So the little green one is her new replacement engagement ring, and then there's a gold bezel on that, and then there's a gold accompanying ring. They turned out really cool, really super beautiful. Yeah. Then I also made 2 extra rings for myself. Originally, I was gonna make these because I wanted rings to like go on my pointer finger. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna cut it so it's bigger so that I can get it on my pointer finger. Unfortunately, I don't know if I like mismeasured or what I did, but I ended up with the 2 bigger ones that I thought I had cut for my finger were what fit her finger. And then the 2 littler ones that were supposed to be for her rings only fit my ring finger. She wears 1 size up in rings than I do. So I got 2 more rings that'll fit on my ring finger. Because I don't have wizard fingers. I got kind of like stubby fingers, but it's okay. I have like, I feel like my hands are pretty strong, but I just don't have wizard fingers. Like skinny wizard fingers. I don't know where I even started saying wizard fingers, but when I started talking about these rings, I started saying wizard fingers, and now I can't stop saying wizard fingers. Anyway, next is Maskathon update. So, you can kind of see in the corner. I'm going to tilt you back for a moment. On Monday last week, I did a Maskathon. I was live on YouTube. I was live on YouTube for 6 hours while I was doing my volunteer day for work, and I made masks. So I made 20 during the Maskathon because I was having a lot of problems with my sewing machine and I was just slow, and I took a Taco Bell break. But then throughout the week I also made the other 20 that I had cut out. So basically these are going to be split. 20 of them are going to a charity called Classroom Central that provides all kinds of supplies to kids in North Carolina. I don't remember off the top of my head where it is, but I know it's not in Pennsylvania, but I found them online. And then also, brain fart. The other half are going to my stepmom's school because she works with kids in early intervention, and yeah, kids forget masks. And since they are going back to school, the best we can do is try to provide them something. Yeah, so each one is individually packaged in a little bag. I'm going to get the ones to my stepmom this weekend, and then Monday when I send everything out, hopefully for the D-stash, I'm going to also send the 20 out to the charity that I'm donating these to. So yeah, I'm not like the best sewist in the world. I'm still learning, but I did what I could, and they're definitely workable. I wear these kind all the time. It's just the like, let me pull a different one out. You can kind of see my wonky lines, but like it's just these are bifold ones and they have ribbons to tie them on, so yeah. And I tried to do a variety of different fabrics, so there's some like cats, there's some that are like, you know, tie-dye-ish, more cats. I promise they're not all cats. Here's a different one. Yeah, I tried to do a bunch of different fabrics so that they're different and fun for children. But also there's still like weird amounts of fabric at the store. Like the store, I went into the craft store and it was just strange. Strange times, my friends. So my last finished object is this big boy right here. I don't know how I'm gonna show this off. So this is the Perfect Pocket Shawl, and it's knit in Lion Brand Heartland. I had to look down at my notes. I use this yarn a lot too, I don't know why. Yeah, so it's a big worsted weight crocheted shawl, and you kind of wear it like this, but then there's also pockets, so you can kind of like, it almost looks like a sleeveless sweater when you wear it, because there's pockets and fringe. I just finished this last night. This is also for my stepmom. She had asked if I could make her one, and I was like, absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah. It was pretty easy to make. I mean, it took me about 3.5 balls of Lion Brand Heartland. Took me about 3 balls of Lion Brand Heartland. I used this green dude. And I did have to go down quite a bit in hook size. I think it was supposed to be like M or something like that. I did a K. Because I went and looked at other people's project pages and also at the pattern once I had gotten all the materials and gotten through a large chunk of it, and a lot of people are saying, hey, her gauge is really tight, and I don't do gauge swatches, so I found out late, after I'd already done like a big chunk of this, that it wasn't right. So yeah, once I switched to the different hook size, it's about as close as it was going to be to what it was supposed to be, because my gauge is not perfectly what it was supposed to be, but it works. It's good. Yeah. I might end up making one of these for myself because I like it so much. Like, I could see myself bumbling around in the house, which is what I'll be doing most of the winter anyway, in one of those, keeping me warm. So, yeah. I might get some black or gray. Of course it's going to be black or gray to make myself one of those. So that's all I have for whips. No, that's all I have for FOs. Here's what I have for whips. Now, I do have more whips than this, but this is like what I'm focusing on right now. Woo, woo, woo. So I started embroidery. Embroidery. I started another cross stitch. So I like cross stitch, and I've actually been doing cross stitch, not consistently, but like I learned cross stitch before I learned pretty much any craft. Like, it was just something that I did when I was a kid. Yeah, I had seen a lot of these like the rectangular things with panels. I've seen a lot of those in the cross stitching world recently, and I wanted to do one. So I got this cool little cheapo scroll thing. So yeah, you just like loosen the sides and you can scroll the fabric. There's more wrapped up here. Don't look at the back side of this, it's a mess. But yeah, I've wanted to do one of these for a while, so I picked the National Parks one. I did not get very much done, as you can see, but we were having a Twilight marathon this weekend. I don't know that I was necessarily going to talk about that, but we decided to have a Twilight marathon this weekend because my wife had never seen all the Twilight movies. So I got this started while I was watching that. Yeah, so you can barely see anything, and I'm not going to like show you the pattern because that's like sketchy, but yeah, I'll show you progress as I get this done because I'm having a good time. I did have to go to 2 different craft stores to get all of the DMC colors that I needed, and I think I still was missing one and just had to pick something close enough because I didn't want to go to any more stores. Yeah, so yeah, I'm doing this one, and then there's a Halloween one that's like a stitch along, so that you do it one every day during the month of October. And that, I think next month the frame comes out, so I think I'm gonna like work pretty hard on this so that I can be ready to take this off and replace it with what I have for that project in the middle, at least late September. I think I want to get that on here so I can make the frame, because I want to have at least most of the frame done before the stitch along so that I don't have to like worry about catching up. That makes sense. And this is like famous last words, but I'm thinking of trying to do Vlogtober. My only thing about that is I know that there isn't going to be a lot of things for me to go to for, you know, safety reasons. So is it going to be enough interesting things to make it worth it to do Vlogtober, or is it going to be a lot of Sam in pajamas eating spaghetti on the couch? I don't know why I said spaghetti. I don't even eat spaghetti that much, but like you get the picture that I'm talking about here, like me sitting on the couch. Oh, I finished work and now I'm still sitting on the couch. But then I'm like, maybe that'll make me want to go do more things so that there's something for the video, or like find things to do. I definitely want to do the December one. What is the December one called? Vlogvent? That sounds wrong. Vlogvent. But you know, the video every day up until Christmas. Kind of want to do that. So like October will be a testing ground to see what I can do. Anyway, that if I do the Halloween thing, that the stitching will be involved with the Vlogtober thing. That's what I'm trying to say. So the only knitting project that I've really been working on is my Sicky shawl. I dropped the yarn. I talk like that all the time, I'm sorry. I just can't stop making voices. You should have heard me talking about the people in Sheets yesterday that called Corona Light Roni. I loved them. This is the right side. Yeah, of course I had just started a row, so I can't stretch it all the way out, but this is my Sicky shawl. I'll try to grab this ball yarn without knocking anything over. So I'm this much through this cake, and I have a whole other cake, so this is going to be a pretty big boy. So I have all this yarn to work through. It feels like I haven't done anything when I look at that. But yeah, I've really been enjoying this. This yarn is Earth Unique Fingering. I know I've talked about this before. Really beautiful multicolored yarn. Also was from a friend swap. And yeah, just good because it like made me, I probably wouldn't have picked this yarn up otherwise because it's so many colors, but like it is totally cool. And I cannot wait to finish this so I can wear it. I just wanted more colors because like I wear so many black t-shirts, so like I need colorful shawls to wear with my black t-shirts so I don't look so much like a goth all the time. Yeah, so this will be really nice. A nice big shawl. I don't really have anything else to say about it. It's a really easy pattern to follow. And it's by Dawn Henderson. Dawn Landix. And I have it in my OCD is a noun bag. It's from Tomboy Femme Bags. Willa just had a shop update and you should go check it out. Her bags are wonderful. I have a bunch of them and I really like to use them for my projects. They're really sturdy and they're just like look at that. I love it. I love it. So yeah, those are the only two whips I'm going to talk about today because it's really all I'm going to be working on right now. I want to finish this shawl because I want to make another shawl. So we're going to talk about that on my list of things that I want to talk about. I am getting into the ramble section. There is craft related stuff, but there is definitely craft stuff involved, but I'm not going to be doing as much. Well, I guess there is some show and tell involved with this one. Anyway, let's talk about Halloween stuff. I'm going to be participating in the Spoopy Along, which is like the Halloween knit along that Wool & Forest is doing. So I needed to find some like spoopy, Halloweeny, creepy projects to work on. So the first thing that I want to work on, this is just because like it's a spoopy color. I have this yarn from Chromo Dynamics. It's so hard to show Stellina on camera, but this is so shiny. It is full of Stellina. And it's really beautiful, like deep purples. So I'm gonna make this into, I think it's called the Aperture Shawl. Wait, I have it right here. Yeah, the Aperture Shawl by, I can't remember who it's by. Amber O'Brien, I believe. Yeah, so the Aperture Shawl by Anbo O'Brien I want to knit with this. It's going to be a really pretty shawl. And I think it's a little spoopy because it's this like dark purple, right? That counts, right? She said it's a kind of loose knit along, so. And then the other thing that I'm going to do is knit the Bone Dancer socks by Hawari Bazaar Co. I had this like white yarn from a like mini swap thing, and I wasn't really sure what to do with it because I didn't really want to put just plain white yarn in my northeasterly, so this is my solution. I got these minis to go with it, so they're all like fall Halloween-y colors, and I'm gonna knit the Bone Dancer socks. So those will be really cool. So that's probably the next thing I'm gonna cast on because I'm really excited to do those. I just got those minis in, but that's like the last yarn that I plan on buying for a while. Especially now that I have everything sorted out. And then the next one is this. So this is from Ruby Star Society. I bought this from Firecracker Fabrics. I ordered it online. It is a big sheet of pretty fabrics that you can make into masks. So I'm just gonna kind of scroll it here so you can kind of get an idea of what we're working with here. And then over here, there's this style mask. I'm doing a bad job on this side. There's those, and there's those, and there's those. Yeah, so you can mix and match or whatever. I'm probably not gonna mix and match, honestly, and I got some plain backing fabric to use for them so I don't have to double side these. So I will be able to get 20 masks out of this, which is cool. We're pretty set on masks, but I just kind of wanted some cooler masks to wear since we're going to be wearing them for the foreseeable future. My wife does have to go into the office 3 days a week, unfortunately, so I wanted us to have cool masks. So I have all of the stuff to make these up. Yeah, so I just want to make some nicer masks for us to wear out and about while we're still wearing them. You know, we'll be wearing them for the foreseeable future, so. I have weird burn marks on my arm from cooking. So I'm not sharing as many acquisitions as I usually used to, but I did want to share this one. So Sultan started dyeing yarn under All One Sultan. And so I got one of his first batch that he sold at Die Hard Yarns. I ordered it from Die Hard Yarns, and it is the Die Hard colorway. I really like the colors. This could even be spoopy knit along because it's kind of like orangey, yellow, green, you know, like this reminds me of Halloween. So I don't know, maybe if I have time I'll also try to knit these during the spoopy along. But yeah, super cool. I'm really excited to knit this, and the yarn is so soft. So just some other like rambly stuff. Yeah, so garden updates. So I actually haven't been able to be out there all week, and I don't anticipate actually being able to go out there till Sunday, so that'll be interesting. My dad and stepmom and I are taking a trip to the greenhouse on Sunday so that we can get some fall plants. So I'm hoping to get a bunch of stuff that I can go plant out there, and it will last me the rest of the season. When I was out there last weekend, I did pull some plants that are starting to go. Quite a few of my, squash plants really just got hit hard, so I had to let them go. There was a casualty with a, oh my god, excuse me. There was a spaghetti squash casualty, and there was also a, both of my patty pan squash unfortunately didn't make it, and I can see my tomatoes are starting to get a little rough too. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how long some of this stuff lasts. I'm really hoping to at least get a couple larger tomatoes because a lot of my tomatoes just really didn't do well this year. Some of it was me. I haven't been out there taking care of them as much, but also just it's been a really, really hot summer, and gardens in general haven't been doing great. A really hot, dry summer especially, you know, has been really hitting us hard. And the watering mechanism on my side of the garden, community garden, is a water pump, and it was broken for like half the summer. So I wasn't able to water from there. So like every time I had to water, I had to like bring water from home, which I live in a 3rd floor apartment. So my motivation was pretty low to do that. But now that's fixed, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to get, some more stuff out of my plot before it's all over. I do have like a watermelon and some squash and stuff sitting in a box that I haven't used yet, and I've been trying to use up as much stuff as possible, but it's just kind of impossible to keep up with all that. So I've got some friends that I've been kind of dishing out some veggies to all summer. I also bought myself a dehydrator as part of me trying to preserve things, so I actually have a tiny little shelf right inside my house that's full of little jars of herbs that I've saved and dried. And I also have pepper flakes that I dried, which is really cool. I really love like using pepper flakes and like pepper powder on things, so that'll be really cool to be able to have my own pepper flakes. The peppers have been doing okay. And I started some plants out on the balcony, so they'll be ready to go out in the next few weeks. I have the garden until the end of October, so even like frost hardy stuff, it's not really worth it to plant because our frost is in the middle of October. So, and really realistically, the last couple weeks I'll be pulling stuff out because you have to clean out your garden before they'll come through, and they do like a sweep with a tiller. So I know that it's winding down, it's kind of sad, but I am going to try to plant a couple short season things and get a little bit extra out of this space before it's all over. So it's definitely been a learning experience, and there's a couple videos that like closer to the end I want to make, like about the things that I've learned and what my favorite plants were this year, that kind of thing. So you can look forward to that once it gets closer to there. But yeah, I haven't really been garden vlogging just because it's just, I haven't been out there enough, and it's just sad. It's just sad. Yeah. And then, speaking of other videos that I want to make, so when I was doing my mask-a-thon, it was suggested that I watch some book-a-thons. So I did watch book-a-thons, and I think I might do one. We were looking at maybe doing it, let me look at my calendar, on September 6th, because Labor Day is the 7th. So all day September 6th, my wife and I are going to be filming ourselves reading books. I have my stack picked out. I kind of tried to pick out things that were like themed. So I have a book about knitting, I have a book about lesbians, I have a book about gardening. So we'll see how far I get in that. I've never done anything like that before, so, but there'll be a video after that then of like how our day went. So that'll be interesting. Hopefully it'll just be something different. I don't know. I've been liking making videos, but not necessarily having enough knitting stuff to talk about or crafting stuff to talk about. So I might branch out a little bit into doing some just like other fun things. Just some fun things. It's something to do. And then, so yeah, I reorganized my stash. I actually went through everything now of my yarn, and I still have a couple drawers to go through over there that I want to see if there's anything that I don't necessarily need. I mean, I'm not going to give away my like opened acrylic paints or anything like that, but there's some other stuff in there I think I can probably part with. But I already have 2 boxes plus a pile of yarn here that I need to rewind into cakes or something. But it's been really nice. I really like how this turned out. I have like all of my hand spun here. There's some self-striping yarn, and then there's some other, this is all my skeins, and then I have cakes over here. I went through, and in this notebook I re-updated my stash down thing. So here was my original one. There's a lot of stuff crossed off. It was either stuff that I like started working on the project and I realized the yarn wasn't right for it, or I actually finished. So there's a decent amount in that whole thing that got done, so that's cool. You can also see some of my old episode notes. But then I went back through and I separated it. So I have one that is just for self-striping yarn because I feel like that might be what I end up buying if I end up buying anything. I have one for hand spun because I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with my hand spun. The other reason I separated out self-striping is I'm probably just going to knit vanilla socks with them, so I didn't want to write like 10 lines of like vanilla socks, vanilla socks, vanilla socks. So yeah, I have six different self-striping yarns. I have 7 like larger skeins of hand spun that I want to kind of figure out something to do with. And then I also have a list of projects. So that goes on to the next page. So I have 26 projects, and that's what all this is. And there's a couple down there too. Yeah, so I have almost all of the yarn here assigned to a project. And that's 26 plus the 6 self-striping. It's probably not a lot for some people, but for me, this is the biggest my stash has ever been, and it was just too big. So yeah, as I was going through and pairing things up, then I also got everything organized, and I pulled out the stuff that I don't necessarily need anymore. So I'm looking forward to doing the D-stash so that I can share this with people. And then I can also get all of my fabric and stuff organized in this bin then, and this whole corner, craft corner, will be a lot cleaner, and I'll probably actually use it instead of still just sitting across the room on the couch. Yeah, so that is essentially where we're at. That's what's going on. That's what's up. Yeah. So, yeah, look out for the yarn D-stash, and some of the other fun little tidbit videos that I will be sharing in the near future. And otherwise, I hope you guys are staying safe. Care so much about you. Please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. I've really just been enjoying doing this, so. And then otherwise, I will see you next time. Bye!